Now, there's a variety of go-to-market channels that we experiment with as we try and reach the customer. How do you think about the various go-to-market channels and strategies?
Yeah, I think, now, Joe, we have what I guess you could call the problem of plenty, right? In the olden days, there were just a handful of channels, you either did some TV, radio advertising or some, newspaper. All that has gone out the window. Now there is a litany of channels, the problem of plenty, right? And for good measure, you add AI into that, which is now creating content by itself, and you've got really a marketer's dilemma. And yes, I think a lot of folks in the audience thinking about go-to-market strategy would be faced with this conundrum. And I also had a situation like this during one of my roles where we had all these different channels and we were just not hitting our numbers, right? And so we had a budget, and despite deploying our budget, we were always coming up short. And so I looked at this and I said, okay, you know what? We've got to use the 80-20 principle here. We have to realize that 80% of our results are going to come from 20% of our channels, roughly. And so I sat down with my team and I ran the numbers. And we found that there were two channels among like 10 different channels that we were deploying, which were bringing in the lion's share. And so then I asked the team, hey, why are we doing these other channels? They're, oh, we've always done it that way. I'm like, that's not good enough. So then I took the risky move. I said, hey, let's take budget away from these low performing channels, put them in these high performing channels. I took a lot of heat. A lot of people said, how can you do that? We've always done that way. People, from senior leadership. I said, you know what, guys, let's try this. And if this doesn't work, okay, you can blame me. But look at the data. The data says that, this is where our results are coming. And so by consolidating, taking budget from the low performing channels into the high performing channels, we were able to deliver record breaking acquisition. So our targets were marketing acquisition. We were able to deliver record breaking acquisition. No other campaigns had performed that well in the history of the company. And, fortunately, that worked out well. It is a bit of a risky move. So, folks out there, if you have this problem of plenty, where you got all these different channels, try to use data. Try to see which channels are performing. Remember the 80-20 rule, right? Not all channels are going to be performing equally. More importantly, for certain campaigns, channel A, B, and C may be doing, your lion's share of the load. For certain other campaigns and other situations, you may have to do other. So look at the data and use that to guide your decisions. And that's helped me, and I'm sure that that'll help you as well in the audience.